بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ولعن أعداءهم. The first and perhaps the most obvious and important responsibility of ours towards the Imam of our time, عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف, is recognizing and knowing him. On the Day of Judgment, that day in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will account and hold accountable every single being for all of their actions, their associations, their deeds, from the hearts and their intentions to what they did to others and to what they did to him, and so on and so forth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says on that day, everyone will be called to their Imam and summoned with their Imam. Allah tebārek wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ نَدْعُو كُلَّ أُنَاسٍ بِإِمَامِهِمْ. That day we will call everyone, and along them will be their Imam, or they will be following their Imam and their leader. So the Imam, and an Imam literally means a leader. Now, as we know, a leader can be a good one, as there are throughout history, and the best examples of them are the prophets and the Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam. But there are also Imams and leaders that lead to the hellfire, God forbid. And in this day, it's the same thing. There are leaders out there who lead to the hellfire, and whether it's by running after the dunya, after desires, cheating people, using ways and methodologies that go against those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands for, and so on and so forth. And there are also leaders to good and to righteousness and to justice, and so on and so forth. And the master of those leaders is the Imam of our time, ajalallahu ta'ala farajah. So we must connect to the Imam as our leader, recognizing that he is the Imam. He is our leader and guide to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is our guide to heaven. He is our guide to everything that is good and happiness in both this world and in the after. Al-Imam al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi says to one of his companions, when he asked him about this verse, يَوْمَ نَدْعُو كُلَّ أُنَاسٍ بِإِمَامِهِمْ, on that day we will call everyone, the Day of Judgment, we will call everyone with their Imam. The Imam says, يا فضيل إعرف إمامك فإنك إذا عرفت إمامك لم يضرك تقدم هذا الأمر أو تأخر. He says, O Fadil, recognize and know your Imam, meaning specifically and especially the Imam of your time. For if you know the Imam of your time, then it won't hurt you or it won't impact you, whether this matter comes late or early, comes sooner or later. Which matter? Meaning the government of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdal salati wa salam, meaning their arising and their holding of power and of rule over this world. Because some at the time used to expect that Imam al-Sadiq or Imam al-Kadhim, salam Allah alayhim ajma'in, would be the Mahdī and the ruler. So the Imams told them, listen, you know your Imam, recognize your Imam, and it won't hurt you and it won't affect you, whether this matter comes sooner or later. How we get to know that Imam is through the Holy Quran, because the Imam, as we'll explain in a future episode inshā'Allāh, will come and revive the Quran. He is the implementer of the Quran. He is the embodiment of the Quran, as we have of Imam Ali alayhi salatu was-salam when he said in the battle of Siffin, he told the enemies and those who were confused that they're calling you towards the Quran that doesn't speak, whereas I am the speaking Quran. And the Holy Prophet before him was, as one of his wives says, that his akhlaq was that of the Holy Quran. The Imam of our time is the same thing. When he comes, inshā'Allāh, he will be representing the Holy Quran and he will be implementing it. So knowing the Imam of our time through the Holy Quran, because he is going to revive that book, as well as through the hadith of the Holy Prophet and Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdal salati wa salam, when they speak about his characteristics, his affairs, how he will rule, how he will guide humanity, how he will treat the enemies, treat the good ones, how people will be trialed at his time, at his appearance, the things that might happen before, how we can know that he is the Imam himself, and so on and so forth. This topic is a very dense topic and it can be discussed in a series in and of itself, but just for the sake of this short series, this episode, the Imam continues. This is as a reward and as a glad tidings to us, inshā'Allāh, if we get to actually recognize the Imam of our time. He says, إعرف إمامك, فإنك إذا عرفت إمامك لم يضرك تقدم هذا الأمر أو تأخر ومن عرف إمامه ثم مات قبل أن يقوم صاحب هذا الأمر كان بمنزلة من كان قاعدا في عسكره لا بل بمنزلة من قعد تحت لوائه وفي بعض الروايات بمنزلة من استشهد مع رسول الله. He says that if you recognize and know your Imam and pass away and leave this world before he actually arises and has the government and the rule of the entire world in his hands, it will be as if you are with the Imam in his tents when he appears, when within his army. The Imam says, no, rather it's as if you are fighting under his banner. And in other narrations, it says that no, it's as if, and these are all added. So this, plus as if you were martyred between the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. So the first responsibility, understanding and recognizing and knowing your Imam through the Holy Quran, through the Ahadith, and inshā'Allāh, we will all have the tawfiq to do that. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.